Use advised. Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, coast to coast.
Hey, everybody. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is over there in Washington, D.C., and I'm over here in our other nation's capital, Las Vegas. Drew?
Yahoo.
Yeah. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
Your voice keeps going out on me.
All right.
It's breaking
That's
up.
all right.
We'll figure it out. All right.
Yeah, I've lost $1,500 gambling in the last 3 days. Good times.
Nice. Good times. What have you been betting?
Well, I did the Howard Stern show out here. Me and Jimmy did today from the Hard Rock Casino.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Millionaire, Mr. Rock Star, Mr. Radio Star.
I'm big time.
Yeah. You couldn't get 3 minutes into the show without bringing that up.
Well, it has to do with the gambling because I don't gamble in Vegas because I'm cursed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the house has a 2% better chance of winning than I do. They have 150%.
Yeah.
I'm just cursed. I lost $1,000 on the Super Bowl. I lost $1,000 last year on the Super Bowl, and played 3 hands of blackjack on the air. $200 bet, $100 bet, and a $200 bet, and lost all 3. 3 hands, 3 losses. And it was great.
Oh, man.
It was one of those things where the dealer, did that thing where she, flipped and had 14 and had to hit, threw over 6. That's the best way to lose. Yeah. So 3 hands, 3 losses, and $500 later, here I am. Drew?
Yep.
What are you doing over there? What are you doing in D.C.?
I'm doing some stuff for the Independent Women's Forum. They published a study on college-age kids' reaction to 9/11, what they're thinking these days. It's been good.
Please.
It's been good.
You're just taking people's money.
I
don't need you.
Hey, I'm doing it for free.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what a sap. All right, you ready to go?
You see that? Listen, everybody. You see how I can't win with this guy? Jackass. Okay.
I had a couple of cocktails before I came by.
No S. All right, here's Amy. She's 20. Hi, Amy.
Hi. My question is, me and my boyfriend have sex like every day, and when he comes to me, I think it's from that. I get this weird odor, and it lasts for like 3 or 4 days or something, and then we don't have sex for like a day or 2, and then it goes away. And then every time he comes to me again, it happens again. And I don't know if that's normal. He says it's just from having sex a lot, and that all his other girlfriends have gotten it too. And I don't know if that's him or if it's,
What do you think? You think his semen goes bad inside of you? Gets rancid up there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Does it only happen when he ejaculates in you?
Yes.
You sure? Is there ever a time when he doesn't ejaculate in you?
Well, he always does. So
that's my point. You don't have a control there.
Oh, do we have the world's dumbest callers on this show? They're so goddamn stupid.
Hey, I'm not...
Well, because you say, whenever we have sex, when he comes in me, it smells. And the way you say it is as if you'd compared it against other times you'd had sex when he didn't come in you. But he does every time.
Other people that I have had sex with, I don't remember getting it from them.
What is it, a yeast infection or something?
Well, it's a couple things. It could be a vaginitis, not yeast. It would be something like trichomonas or Gardnerella. That tends to be the one associated with the funny smells. And sometimes, women just have a certain odor after sex that's just them. And maybe it's mixing with him in some way that's making it smell unusually for you. I doubt it's his semen, but certainly you could figure that out by just trying it without the semen sometime, right?
Okay.
You want to try that, doctor?
And if not,
an experiment?
Control experiment. But if not, the possibility of vaginitis is there, and that ought to be treated in both of you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, good times.
Good times. Brian is 19.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Brian.
How's it going? What's up, Adam?
Yeah.
I got a question for Drew.
Adam, you're like surly tonight.
Yeah.
Usually you're kind of a happy drunk.
Well, I've done 4 hours of radio already for Christ's sake.
All right.
I'm tired.
All right, Brian.
My question is if ecstasy use can be related to back pain or increased back pain after an injury, like, say, you take ecstasy and makes the back pain worse.
Yeah, there's no doubt that ecstasy is associated with back pain. People, in fact, because of that sort of characteristic symptom, believe that somehow something's happened to their spinal fluid, which, if in fact it was, would be a harmless side effect. But the back pain, no one knows exactly what that's due to. It's, again, just a side effect. Lots of medications that are sort of hard on your system have that side effect. It's basically just a sign of the injury. It's like getting hit over the head, basically. And you get fatigue, and back pain is part of that. Yeah.
All right, well, I don't know. I really wish that guy that would call up and talk about asshole the size of a mason jar worked his way into that. That's always funny when that guy calls up.
Well, now he has Minion now. There are many of his cut from his cloth that now call.
Engineer Anderson, cut these guys off after Drew's done answering the question, please. Sit there and hear the guy breathe for 5 minutes and then ask his follow-up question.
All right, here's Andrea. She's 21.
Hello.
Is it Andrea or Andrea?
Whatever you want to call me.
Perfect.
Oh, you're one of Adam's buddies now.
I like that.
I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I haven't done anything like this. The problem is, I've been with my boyfriend for 7 years now. And in the first 3 months of our relationship, I had cheated on him. And I told him...
Well, hold on a second, Andrea. I'm going to... no, hang on a second. I just want to sort of highlight something here. So, when you were 14 years old, you cheated.
Yes.
14. Have you cheated since?
No.
Okay. When you were 14, you had an indiscretion.
Yes.
How old is your boyfriend?
Right now?
Right now.
27.
27. So he was a nice 20-year-old when you were 14.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Delight.
Yeah, he's
what
an idiot. I'm not surprised he'd hold you hostage to something ridiculous like you kissing a boy when you're 14.
Well,
maybe, hold on, maybe he doesn't know. Does he know?
Yes, he knows. I told him a year later I had gotten pregnant with my daughter around 15. And I told him when I had an idea that I was pregnant that I did it to him. And then...
Huh?
What?
That you cheated on him.
Oh, you cheated on him.
That I cheated on him.
I see.
You had sex with some other guy when you were 14.
Yes.
Or 15, whatever it was.
I was promiscuous when I was that young. I went through some things with my life, and I'm not happy about it. But I admitted to him, and he stayed with me, and he's I don't know how to explain it. He told me not to talk to guys, not to be around guys.
All right, Andrew, listen, not that that's such bad advice given how you were behaving, but this is, you're a victim. So, somehow you love that victim role because this guy has really sort of galvanized you and sort of isolated you in that victim role. Where were you victimized before meeting this guy?
Like, what do you mean?
Sexually abused, physically abused? Yeah.
Yes, when I was younger. Younger, it happened to me.
Who did this?
My mother's boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that he's kind of helped me in a way. That I've talked to him about so many things of, what happened in my life, and he's actually taught me some things.
I believe that there's been a sense of being helped by this guy, but believe me, he's got you hostage.
Well, how do you know? How do you know?
A 20-year-old telling a 14 or 21-year-old, don't talk to boys, don't... come on.
Well, he doesn't want me working. He doesn't want me going outside.
You see? Hostage.
Yeah.
All right, so what does he do?
What does he do? Well, he works as electrician or construction.
Oh, boy.
And
all right, so what's the question?
Right now, he's in jail.
And he's
shocking. I don't believe it.
There you go.
Framed, obviously.
Yeah, well, parole violation.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Excuse me?
What did he do to get in jail?
Well, not too happy. I don't really want to admit why he's in jail. But,
Well, wait a minute. It's reality, Andrew. You might as well start dealing with who this guy really is. It's reality. That's the problem here. This guy has you so walled off from reality, you can't even see it.
But, I mean, I believe that things can work out with us because I don't know, that, I really, really, really love him. And that we have a daughter together.
Sure.
I've done, everything that I've given him my life,
Sure.
Yeah, that's not okay.
But
What did he do to get in jail?
What did he do? He violated his probation.
Oh, see, Adam? See?
Drew was right. And what did he do to get on probation?
We stole something, and he got caught for it.
I see.
And
all right, when does he get out of jail?
In 8 months.
Okay.
And right now, he's really kind of going crazy in jail right now because he can't trust me. And I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to let him go, but...
Sure. You don't want to leave all that.
No. I mean...
Listen, Andrea, listen to me. Here's what I need you to do. I need all of you to do this. It's not going to be pretty, but I don't know how else to state it. You guys are dumb and we're smart. So you got to listen to us. Okay, so let's just start from there. All right? Drew's read many books, and I've led many a month on this earth. And we have an accumulation of knowledge that's unsurpassed. And what we're saying to you is you were victimized when you were young by your horrible stepfather, your mom's boyfriend. You then got hooked up with an abusive guy who you think you love because that's the way it feels to you, but I guarantee between this guy hitting on you when he was 20 and you were 14 or 13 or 21 or whatever the hell he was and you were, then him being in prison, and worst of all, working in the construction field. This guy's a complete disaster. You have a kid, and you want your kid to turn out like you?
No.
Well, that's what you're setting up.
You must get away from this guy.
But you don't think that he can get helped or anything?
No.
He doesn't want help.
He don't want it. He's back in the pokey. Okay? We're geniuses, and we're telling you what the answer is.
There's no way I can get his trust back anyway.
You never had it. He's just using it to control you.
That's it, Andrea.
Okay.
Get away from
mind control.
Forget about you. Think about your kid, for Christ's sake.
Well, that's really the hard part. She really loves her dad, and
yeah, she thinks she does. She'd love a rock if that was what she saw when she came out of you.
Yeah, but still, that's what's imprinted there. It's tough. Really tough.
Listen, Andrea, you got to be sterilized. No more kids.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
We should have just recommended that plan straight away. Jerry is 22. Yeah, that would have been good.
Absolutely. Well, look,
Jerry.
You people are dismantling the planet. Go ahead. Sorry, Gary.
Jerry.
Yes.
Oh, Jerry.
Yes.
Go.
Oh, this is Dr. Drew?
Just hang up on him then, Anderson, if he ain't talking.
Wow.
Thank you. You can put him on hold. We'll talk to him later.
Brian.
Yeah.
What's up there, Brian?
Sorry about that. I'm on the road right now. Basically, my question is, I'm worried that my girlfriend's strong sexual drive is from a previous, I guess we'd call it bad sexual experience where she was kind of raped.
How old was she?
19.
She's 19 now, or she's 19 when she was raped?
When she was raped.
Has she ever had anything like that happen to her before? Anything funny?
No, it was kind of like they were seeing each other, but he forced himself upon her.
One time, and that ruined her sex drive?
No, she has a very, very strong sex drive.
No, that's not it. No, he's saying it's affected her sex drive, not in a negative way.
It's too strong.
if it affected her by she's kind of looking for comfort in sex now and trying to get a good experience out of it, or it's kind of like, I don't know. I just want to make sure it's not going to affect our lives together.
What are you talking about, Brian?
Well, I'm worried that the bad sexual experience is going to affect us in the future in our sex.
Yeah, but I understand that. But what are you talking about? Is this she is overwhelming you? She's making you feel bad? She's so sexually driven?
No. I don't want it to be like she's turning to me for comfort in sex. But
hey, Brian, forget your interpretation. What is it that bothers you about it? Why do you even bring it up? Why aren't things just okay from your standpoint?
I don't want to screw up her head anymore. I mean, because she
Adam, do you understand what I'm asking?
I stopped listening last week. Listen, Brian, here's what we're saying. Maybe you're overthinking this.
Yeah, she had a rape incident. It should be treated. It's going to affect her. It's going to affect relationships. If it was a victimization that was part of a pattern, then by all means you're going to have lots of issues with her in relationships. But why are you even bringing it up? What is it about the relationship now that is causing you to have anxiety about it? Just that it had happened and you're ruminating about it? Or is there something about the way she's relating to you that's troubling you? Well, I'm going to ask him that, all right?
What's that true?
He was off the line.
Oh, Brian?
I don't want to be messing with her head and kind of be by messing her up anymore if...
Okay, put him on hold, Anderson. On hold.
I'm going to take a crap.
Okay.
Can he hear us?
I don't know. It's like he can't hear us.
Well, what about the part where he just repeated, I don't want to be messing with her head and screwing her up anymore than I have to? Then Drew goes on a 20-minute tirade about what is your goddamn question, and then he comes back with, I don't want to be messing with her head. I don't want to screw her up anymore.
Oh, my God.
Look, here's the deal. And Drew, you agree or disagree? If she had one incidence of rape when she was 19,
it's a date rape effect. It's a date rape effect of it,
yes,
too.
she should get some counseling, but there shouldn't be any real long-term effects. If she grew up in an environment,
right?
Drew, what are you saying?
Well, I know you're going to get a million. I'm just clarifying. It's okay to talk together. It's all right, Adam. Is that the?
Well, let's have it.
You're going to get a million letters about rape. Go ahead.
Blah 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 blah. What is it over there? Idiot. No, what we're saying is if this happened once, she's got to get some counseling and work it through. But if this is part of some pattern that started early in life, there may be trouble. We don't know what it is because it's hard to communicate with Brian.
Yeah, right.
But don't make trouble where there is none. And I'm willing to speak to Jerry again if he's still around.
There he is. Jerry?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good.
I'm sorry, I'm on a cell phone. I'm on work right now. Wednesday, you made a comment about security guards. You just totally bashed them there, Adam.
Yeah, they're horrible people.
Well, not all of us are like that, Come on.
Not all of them.
Well, you said, they're all lazy and all that. Last night I stopped a car break in. My buddy, my partner, he stopped a guy from killing his wife.
Wow.
Right.
You see, Adam, they did that without calling the police. You see?
It happens.
Adam, without dialing 911, these guys came to the rescue.
Yeah,
right?
well, we patrolled an apartment complex. And, my buddy heard the guy and the woman beating, crap going on. And he just kind of intervened and found out what was going on. She was laying on the floor all bloody.
Nice.
So he was Well, I'm just saying, you just said they're all lazy, they're not worth anything. That's why they're in the security field.
Well,
I'm in the security
for the
field
most part. For the most part.
I don't know. I agree. There are some bad apples in a bunch, but it's like.
Well, they're not really bad apples. They're just lazy apples.
That's true. I've seen a lot of lazy ones, a lot of there's some guys that don't belong in it, but they're all good.
That's my point. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
All right. Look, I'm not saying that every security guard is lazy, uneducated, worthless sack of crap.
Wait. Let's be clear.
I'm saying about 90. Okay. All right, Drew. Drew.
Yeah.
How are we going to do this show when you talk at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Drew, seriously, what do you want to do?
Time to start listening, goddammit.
What do you want to do?
Go ahead.
What are we going to do here? We can't do the show.
Time to start listening, goddammit. we go to break?
Whatever you want to do, Drew.
Innocent, let's go to break.
Hey, everybody. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. I'm in Las Vegas tonight, and Drew is in Washington, D.C. tonight. And Drew is hearing only every third word that I say, so he's having a little difficulty. He's stepping on me, and I'm yelling at him. So that's what you heard in the first break. But it's okay. We're ready to get back on track and help the kiddies. Drew?
I have an engineer in here trying to fix the problem.
Fantastic. You want to go to a call?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Here we go. Anna,
yeah.
15.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good. My first question was that in the past 2 weeks, I have been waking up around 3 and 4 every single morning, and then I have a hard time going back to bed, and I don't know why, and it's like drives me nuts.
Well, early awakening.
Excuse me?
Sorry. See?
What time are you going to bed?
Around 10 or 11, sometimes 9.
Early awakening is a classic symptom of depression, Anna.
Yeah, I have that.
All right, well, that's what that is. And it's awful because you sit there and you're like wide awake. Even though you're sleepy and tired, you can't go to sleep. It's like your eyes are bolt open.
Yeah.
And that's depression. That's what that is.
How can I deal with that, like, without, like, going to the doctors and getting medication or whatever?
Well, you can exercise and eat right and try to make sure you do a lot of self-care, do things for yourself you like doing. Pay attention to what your needs are and try to meet them. Don't get too stressed. If things are bothering you, talk to your friends, spend time face-to-face with people talking about your feelings. See if that makes it better.
Talking really doesn't do anything. For me, it's like a waste of time.
Say that again. It doesn't help?
Yeah, it doesn't really help. It's like a waste of time for me to tell people my problems because it doesn't help me.
Oh. Why are you calling then?
Because I have another question.
All right. Well, you sure talk a lot for someone who doesn't like talking.
No, I do. I love talking, but I don't really like talking about myself and whatnot, so...
Well, listen, why don't you get yourself some exercise and tire yourself out before you go to bed?
Alrighty. All right, my other question...
All right.
My other question...
Well, hold on. Listen, screwball. Drew said it was a symptom of depression. He suggested that you talk it out, and he gave you a whole bunch of good suggestions of what to do to help remedy this problem, and you just blew him off, so screw you.
No, I do. I exercise. I've been on the tennis team at my school.
All right. Well, maybe you got to go in and look into getting some medication if you
or as the therapist. She just doesn't want to tell anyone about this. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to address it as a real problem. So, this is Scott. It's 20.
Hello?
Scott.
Hi.
Hey, Scott.
How you doing? Oh, God, I'm glad I got in.
Listen, let me just say this to anyone listening, and especially our phone screeners tonight. Because we're having a little bit of difficulty with Drew being over there and me being over here, when you guys pick up the phone, just ask the question, please, because we get all caught up in the how you doing and then the delay and how's it going and I'm fine, and it starts every call off with a nice trip and a stumble. Thank you, Scott. Go ahead.
Sure thing. Okay, I know how to make girls aroused at the drop of a hat. I just put my mind to it ever since I was a freshman in high school. I put everything into it, and I can do it finally, but I'm just wondering if it's morally right. Just to,
what are you talking about?
To, like, hypnotize, like, to be so involved in emotion and to, like, express my anger and then sort of use that emotion and focus it in other ways onto a girl.
He's an idiot.
Oh, I see. That's what he's talking about.
There's also...
Using his... wait a minute. Do you use telepathy?
No. Oh, God. No. There's also something else.
Well, what do you do? How do you get women excited?
I just, like, there are certain things like using rhythm and deep voice, or just focusing and looking them in the eye and just talking directly with confidence, and it...
Yeah, maybe it's just that they like you and they like your confidence. You're not actually hypnotizing them.
Oh, okay. There's another thing.
Well, you got him off of that pretty quick.
Wow.
Don't let this guy talk anymore. I'm this close to beating off.
Wait, I've had people tell me to call in saying that you guys wanted to talk to me.
Who told you that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think what you have is not power over women, but it's called schizophrenia.
Oh.
You hear voices telling you to call in and do things. You believe that you're embodied with these powers that don't really exist. Do you have any mental conditions?
I get misjudged a lot, and
maybe everyone's right, and you're misjudging yourself.
Is part of that misjudgment people telling you need to take medication?
No, people tell me I disgust them, and then I'll explain myself, and they were like, "No, I misjudged you," and it just happens so frequently.
Well, why don't you use your powers to not have them come to that conclusion so often? Hey, Scott, how often do you get laid?
And by the way, any
girlfriend a year?
A 20-year-old with that power, think about it.
Use it.
Would use it for evil.
Yeah. How come,
constant.
How come with this power over women you don't get laid more?
Because it's a lot of responsibility.
You porking someone is a lot of responsibility?
No, to just be able to do it over anyone. I mean, girls.
Okay, well, Scott, let's talk about you for a second.
Okay.
Are you a little bit nuts?
No. I've had depression a couple of years ago, but I've been treated for it, and I've had psychiatrists tell me that I'm perfectly normal, except for a little.
But they have told you to take medication, though, right?
I'm on Remeron, that's all, though.
All right.
Okay, well, stay with the medication and don't focus so much on your superhuman powers over women.
Yeah.
Right.
Stay back with the basics.
Yeah, like getting a job.
There you are.
Woo. Scott was a real nut job.
I'm afraid so. Billy's 29.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Dr. Drew, welcome to D.C. over here.
Thank you.
My question is, I'm addicted to sex. I've been listening for a long time. Me and the computer get along pretty good. My wife don't want to have sex after the kid.
How long ago does she have the baby?
3 years.
Oh boy.
It's a while, yeah.
Yeah. I have a good history of being messed with and stuff when I was younger, and I heard some stories on the radio, and Adam never believes it. But I can prove to him that I'm not joking around about being messed with by a stepsister.
No, I've certainly seen these stories before, and it screws with you.
I don't not believe it.
Yeah, I think there was a time once when somebody said like their grandmother molested him. We couldn't figure out how it happened, and he was like 3, and we didn't understand what he meant. But yeah, it can happen, Billy. There's no doubt about it. It does tend to set people in various trajectories. Most commonly, hypersexuality. It sounds like you have an internet addiction, porn addiction.
Well, I mean, before she had the kid, sex was great. I was never really fully satisfied. I can go a long time, and I've always been like this.
Yeah, you've always been like this because you were molested when you were a child.
Yeah, I was seeing a therapist, but she doesn't specialize in this.
Yeah.
And she gave me some medication, different kinds, and they weren't. All
right, Billy, there are guys that specialize specifically in this, in sexual addictions, and even now there's people that have even more specialized specifically in the area of internet addiction, internet porn addiction. And people can spend a lot of money, a lot of time in this sort of altering themselves and going into this fantasy world where they spend incredible amounts of time. And because seems to be, it's usually clinically people get into situations where they're seeking greater and greater thrills. They get themselves into trouble oftentimes, and if they don't do that, they spend an awful lot of money. I would suggest you check out the website ncsac.org. That's the National Council on Sexual Addiction and Compulsivity. ncsac.org. There you go. Jerry's 29.
Good evening.
Hey, hello.
I was calling regarding a friend that I work with, and for the Dr. Drew. This gentleman passes a kidney stone, no lie, once a month. He's actually had months where he's passed 2 of them. He says he's seen specialists and whatnot, and there's nothing they can do, and I don't understand it. And I just
Jerry, it's like any disease. Do you understand every disease? Some diseases are not treatable, or they're treatable in certain situations and not in others.
Jerry's saying it's not right.
God, so why can't they control it? There's a medicine called hydrochlorothiazide that will decrease the urate excretion, and the calcium oxalate stones tend to form around the uric acid crystals, and that might help him. Some people are just they excrete a lot of calcium and a lot of oxalate, or one or the other. And no matter what you do, you can't make them better. You just got to give them lots and lots of fluids.
Well,
so there are situations
Jerry,
like that.
I think Jerry, what he needs to do on his friend's behalf is barge into the doctor's office and yell, he's mad as hell.
Yeah.
This is not right. He cannot justify this, and it must stop. And it must stop now.
I love that, where people decide that a medical condition is just not acceptable. Or the fact that it can't be treated or controlled is hey, we'll just do something. Unacceptable.
I like it too when it's when the person's relatively young and they start working in it. The guy's 31 years old. What the hell? This is ridiculous. But Drew, what does cause those kidney stones?
Genetics as much as anything. Then maybe oxalate intake in your diet, which is like caffeine, coffee and chocolates. Some people are urate excretors, and they just they taking uric acid will decreasing the uric acid content in their diet sometimes.
Let me tell you, speaking about uric,
you got to pee?
Excreting. No, but I came to the station tonight. I don't want to talk too loud because there's people around here, but when you decide it's time to take a leak.
Well, you have that bladder lowering that when it's going, man, it's game on.
It is game on. I am giving birth to urine, and there's nothing that's going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I decided as I was pulling up in the parking lot tonight, time to whiz. And the radio station here is empty at night. And I know where the bathroom is, and I start heading over to the bathroom in a hurry, and the door's locked.
Oh.
And there's no other bathroom, and it's too late. It's game on. I began the countdown, so I thought, all right, look, just
I know what you did. I know what you did.
Hold on a second, Drew.
Right.
You do?
Did you go over to that snack area and go in the sink?
How dare... Yeah, I did. You had to pee in the sink. I had
it's a public area. It's like a cafeteria.
Well, here's what I do. So I go, listen, just, maintain. And my bladder's going, no, the countdown's already began. And I, look, you're an adult. You're fine. Just relax. Then make a cup of coffee and then go back and check the door in like 2 minutes. The guy's probably taking a leak. Check the door 2 minutes later, still locked.
Oh.
Check the door like 5 minutes later, it's still locked. And at that point, it's like, listen, you're begging to have your sink whizzed in at this point. So I just went right into the kitchen. And it's a little tough in the kitchen because, there's no door and, it's right in the middle there. But what are you going to do,
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
oh, my
nice.
God. There are women running around there at night, too, aren't there?
I don't know what there are, but there's whiz in the sink. I'll tell you that right now. Well, what could I do?
Yep,
the countdown had begun and the door was locked.
Pee on the floor, I don't know.
Well, yeah, is that better in the sink, wise ass? No. All right, what are we going to do? We want to get one more call in?
No, we'll go to break. I'll go to break.
All right, we'll be right back with more of the show right after this. Hey, everybody. It's Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Drew?
Yes, sir. Here we go. It's Vivian, who's 15.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's happening? What's your question?
Okay. When I masturbate, when I finger myself, I feel like I have to pee really, really bad. And then I heard you guys talking, I think it was last night, about something was similar like that, and you just said to relax. And so I did that last night, but then I just peed everywhere. And I didn't know exactly what to expect, and I was wondering if I could stop this somehow. Or...
Let me understand. Was this the first time you had an orgasm?
No, well, I didn't think it... No, I just peed.
Oh, no orgasm, huh?
No. That's what I thought it was leading up to an orgasm. That's why I just, relaxed and said, okay, this is fine. But I peed instead, so...
Instead of having an orgasm.
I think I peed on your hand.
Well, again, if you irritate, you're stimulating that area, you're irritating the urethra, the need to pee, the urge to pee can certainly come upon you, and if you let that go, you'll pee. I mean, usually it's associated with orgasm, that's when sort of the muscular contraction forces the urine out. I think, have you ever had an orgasm?
No.
Are you sure you weren't having one?
No, but I would think it would be more apparent, wouldn't it?
I don't know, I wasn't there.
One would hope. Well, meaning if she had one, she'd know it kind of thing. If that's all there is, she's going to kill her.
Usually, it's like there's different areas I can press up against, and I feel like I have to pee, but I've never really gotten to that point where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to let it go.
All right. Well, keep experimenting with it. You're going to have to figure this out for yourself. Do
you have a boyfriend?
No.
So, are you a virgin?
Yes.
All right.
You sure?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Yeah, listen, you're fine, and don't worry about it. I mean, I know it's a pain in the ass, but you know what? You'll work it out. You're 15.
Yeah,
Lord knows you're spending enough time on yourself.
Well, she's ahead of the curve here, right?
Yeah.
She's experimenting freely, and she's, in the face of adversity, still forging ahead.
Yeah. All right.
Here's Donnie's 20.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, I had a question. Like, I heard Adam bring up the fact that, he's going to piss in some guy's sink. Well, I have that problem. Like, I can't help it. Wherever I go, I feel like I have to pee in the sink. Like, the toilet could be right there next to me, but, I got to pee in the sink.
He needs to leave his mark, Adam, like you.
Listen, I don't need to leave my mark. It's just when I got to go and some guy's locked himself in the bathroom, what the hell am I supposed to do?
So you associate sink with pee?
I guess so. The toilet's right there, and it just, kind of started. I don't know. It was weird. I guess, I had to go in the kitchen or something, and I couldn't get to the bathroom late at night or something.
Well, the kitchen is a tough sell because normally the counter height in a kitchen is 36 inches.
Oh, yeah, it's tough. But it's doable.
Yeah, it's a 6'2" and above club, that kitchen sink.
Oh.
Now, the bathroom counters are more like 32 or 28 inches. That's a no-brainer there. You know what I mean?
You're just in.
Yeah, sometimes they have those sinks that drop into the cabinet, though, and they got 4 inches of laminate between your nuts and where the sink begins. That's a little bit of a challenge. That's where I really have to step it up. Hey, but Donnie, let me tell you something about whizzing in the sink. It's kind of it's something you do when you don't have other places available. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never occurred to him.
Well,
not me, but you.
Well, like I said, the toilet could be right there, but I just have this drive to go.
All right. Well, is it your house?
No, it's everybody's house. I even go at my friend's house.
Oh, all right. Yeah, good times.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong?
Well, try to break yourself. Here's what I would do for a while. You put a rubber band around your penis, and each time you pee in the sink, you snap it. That's called aversion therapy.
Okay.
All right, there, Donnie. Good time.
Just go ahead and just start peeing in the toilet. All right.
All right.
Okay. You'll break your habit fine.
But Drew, you do save quite a bit of water urinating in the sink.
Well, yeah, okay. Is it? I wonder what it is. What's the allure? Is it not having to bend over and mess with the seat, or some hygiene thing?
It's easy though. I think. It's really easy. It's right there. You just turn on the water.
Well, I'll tell you what's nice. And Anderson, get rid of Donnie. Thank you. I'll tell you what's nice. You whiz in the bathroom sink, right? Yeah. Well, you can brush your teeth or shave while you're taking a whiz. And Drew, as a man on a schedule, surely you can appreciate that.
Yeah, I do try to multitask, and I'll look into that. Maybe I can even get a computer link in there, too.
Well, back to the point.
Yeah, it could be powered off a wheel that is turned by urine.
Oh, now you're talking.
Drew, wait a minute. I got another great invention.
Oh.
Seriously. How about a urine turbine?
Yeah.
Meaning
the world's we could power the world with that.
Well, look at it this way. This may be better than my heated sofa or the pants with the panty lines sewn in, but you have in your toilet a wheel. And this wheel's hooked up to a little generator. And each time you take a whiz, you probably get 30, 50 revolutions out of that thing. Sure, there'd be a big rooster tail of urine spraying out of the toilet into your face. We'd have to work that out. But you know what I'm saying? Drew, the urine comes out with a certain amount of velocity.
Or,
certainly,
Adam, how about building up the commode, the seat, to a certain height where you actually climb onto it, and when the Duke drops, the velocity will turn another turbine?
Well, that's worth looking into, but the aim would have to be such that, you know what I mean, it would be tricky. Plus, you'd have to clean the turbine wheel every once in a while, and it would probably be a mess. But just think about when you go, like I was at the Super Bowl, and there's literally thousands and thousands of men in there just spraying out urine at, 25 psi and putting out 16, 18 ounces apiece. Imagine if all that urine was combined to turn a wheel. I mean, we could power the stadium.
Yeah, I'm with you.
This is wonderful.
Oh, I bet Hugh would like that.
There's been worse ideas than this.
Yeah, all right. Probably, somewhere.
Thank you. Well, 3 of them were mine, but...
No doubt. Here's April. She's 15. April?
Hi.
I'm writing this down, Drew.
Okay. I have this... Okay, when I meet guys, like, all the time, and, like, I start talking to them, and then, like, they always, like... We always end up having sex, and, like, I can't say no. Like, it's just something, like, I can't say no. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, and it's, like, same when I drink. Like, I never say no to alcohol. Like, I don't know, I think I have, like, I know I have some type of problem, but I don't know, like, what to do.
15?
Well, yeah, you really should get some help with this, because if you truly can't contain behaviors that are destructive, you need help containing it. And that's the simplest and clearest way I can state it. You've got to get help with this before something awful happens, or before you arrive in a pattern where you really become regularly destructive to yourself.
It's I know I shouldn't be doing it, and then...
I understand you have insight, but you're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe you're an addict, maybe you were sexually abused. This is all that kind of behavior. And that boundarylessness, that inability to contain yourself, that being under other people's influence when they, just because they're interested in you, you're sort of novelty seeking and unable to turn down things like alcohol and drugs. That's a problem, and it's a problem, so do something about it.
Okay.
How many guys you been with?
About 10.
Ooh, that's pretty good at 15. Hey, April, what do you think about my electric conducting urine turbine wheel?
I think it's pretty interesting.
Oh, okay. All right. That wasn't bad. I don't take that as bad.
This is Dave. It's 32.
Yes, hi there. I just had a question about the last 3 women I've been with have had orgasms, and that's just by me kissing them, and that's no sex. And my question is that normal? Is it pretty common for a girl to have an orgasm just by you kissing them, not even really touching them?
No, that is very common.
It is? Okay.
Well, Adam just looks at them.
Yeah, I just give him $1,000 and they have one.
Well, what is he talking about? That's an interesting question.
The last 3 women he has been with have an orgasm just through him kissing them.
How do you know they're having an orgasm? They tell you?
Oh, yeah.
And were you making out for a long period of time and then they have an orgasm?
Yeah, quite a while. It builds up to it, but yes.
Jesus. Must have a tongue like a gecko.
Well, presumably there's some sort of stimulation you're putting them through, right?
Yeah, I imagine so.
Well, are you manipulating them at all, or just kissing?
No, it's pretty intense, but it's just kissing, right?
Yeah, but there's some rubbing going on here, right?
There doesn't have to be.
You're gay.
True, please.
I didn't say that.
Well, listen, a-hole, will you answer our question?
What's your question?
There's no rubbing involved.
No.
So just say no. Don't say there doesn't have to be.
There's no touching. There is light touching on the arms and the back and the neck.
All right. Well, you found yourself 3 keepers.
Yeah. How did you know you spotted one?
Oh, they've just been girls I've been going out with.
You know what I'm saying, Adam? He may have a sense about him, and he can sniff that ability.
Yeah, because the women I run into can't have an orgasm with a jackhammer. Forget about the kissing part.
It couldn't have anything to do with the partner they're engaged with.
No, how dare you? No,
of course not. Of course not. I wouldn't even. That wouldn't even occur to me.
Furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah.
All right, so good. I think he just called to brag, though, didn't he?
I don't know. All right,
we're going to brag. He wanted to know if it was possible, and the answer is, I guess it is.
Well, we know women have orgasms working out at the gym, and
they have orgasms in their car when they push the clutch in.
I don't know.
All right, we'll take ourselves a little break. We'll be back with more of the show right after this. Hey, y'all, Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. This is Loveline. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. All right, Drew, who do you got lined up next?
There we go. It's Jessica. She's 22.
Hi, my question is that I met a guy a month ago, and we're really good friends, and we fit perfectly. He fits every category of a man that I want. He's even met my parents, but he hasn't made a move. And there's some things that he says that makes him think that he might like me, but he hasn't tried anything. Basically, what my question is, from a guy's point of view, is there a good chance that he does like me, he just hasn't done anything, and would it be okay if I were to make the first move, or should I just leave it alone?
That's always okay.
Always okay,
Jessica,
to make the first move?
Well, how old is he?
He's 24.
And you guys have been going out for a few months?
Well, no, I met him a month ago, and we're just really good friends, but we flirt, and, we get along very well. Everything fits perfectly. He's met my parents. We've done family functions. We go to church together. But he hasn't tried anything, and we hold hands, but it's just weird, and I'm scared to make a move and then have him reject me. But I really like this guy. He's, perfect.
It's suspicious.
Well, wait a minute now. Sometimes guys who are the church-going variety, who are possibly teetotalers, they get involved, and that little window opens and closes, and before they know it, they're hanging out with the person, and then it becomes weird to make a move.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you think he likes you that way?
I think so, yes. There's, things that he says and things that he does that makes me believe that he could like me, and I want to make a move. I just don't know if it will be correct to make a move. And I guess
I can't see that it's ever wrong. Can you, Adam?
No, I mean, he doesn't have a girlfriend, right?
Right.
Do you know a lot about him?
Oh, yes. I know a lot about him. We're really good friends.
Has he had girlfriends in the past?
Yes, he has.
And
how did you meet him?
Well, I met him one night at a club, and we just started talking, and then, from there on, we talk every day. On the weekends, we're together. He goes to my family's house. We go to church on Sunday. So it's we're together all the time.
Have you had the talk? Have you had the talk about being, monogamous, exclusive, that kind of thing?
No, that's what I'm scared to bring up. I didn't know if it would be correct for me to do.
But see, Anna, my concern is that she has this sense that she's going to be rejected, that this guy's not going to respond to her overtures, and that's suspicious. That's kind of weird.
Well, but Drew, what talk can they have? They're not really officially dating.
Yeah, but they're together all the time.
I know, but they're friends.
Would it be okay for me just to one day just kiss him? Would that
Yes, it's fine. But Adam, you know how it always goes with guys, girls, or friends. Somebody's more into it than somebody else.
Well,
that's why they're friends and not just going for it. Yeah.
Jessica is.
Right.
Okay.
But wait a second.
It doesn't mean it can't be brought around.
Does this guy drink?
No. Well, no. I mean, we have...
You still going to clubs?
Yeah, well, no, we go to clubs together. See, that's the whole thing. We do everything together. And when we're at the club, he holds me like I'm his girlfriend, and people look at us like we're boyfriend and girlfriend, but then it's weird. I know it doesn't sound too smart.
People look at you like you're boyfriend and girlfriend.
I know, that didn't sound intelligent, but...
It's official.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. What kind of clubs do you go to?
We go to, salsa clubs. We go to raves together.
You know the thing that's I find ironic about salsa clubs? No goddamn salsa in the place.
Never.
I went in there expecting to get myself some chips and salsa, and it's just a bunch of Mexicans dancing. It's horrible.
But we have a lot of Corona, so it's okay.
The Corona. That's the worst Mexican beer. You guys do. The Mexicans do a lot of great beers. I mean, booze is one of the things these guys do the best. But Corona, not a good one in my book. But anyway, here's what you need to do.
Okay.
Don't get the guy plastered, but why don't you loosen him up? Why don't you guys do a tequila shot together?
Okay.
And then have a Corona, and then, plant one on him.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
You couldn't
good times. Yeah, you'll be fine. He wouldn't be there if he wasn't interested.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, good times.
Thank you.
Drew, I know you're worried.
Yeah.
What are you worried about, Drew?
Well, where's that drop that would express my concern?
Suspicious?
Amazon? No.
Drew,
You're
no one
gay.
knows what you're talking about. You think he's gay?
No, I don't know.
He's gay?
Well, I mean, he is going to salsa clubs.
Well, it's more like it's a bunch of rooms together. Like you have hip hop, you have house, and then you have like the salsa, and it's just I guess one.
Well, how about you guys go on a date? I mean, how about you go to the beach and have a little nighttime picnic thing, with a bottle of wine and some cheese. What about something like that?
And that wouldn't be wrong for me to ask him.
No, Jessica, please. It's 2000 whatever it is.
I know.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, you tell him, look, instead of Saturday night, are you going out this Saturday?
Yes, I am.
Now, where are you guys going to go? The salsa club?
No, we're going to go to a rave.
Are you going to go to a rave?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys going to get all jacked up on X, or what are you going to do?
No, we don't do that.
Well, let me tell you what the problem is over here. You guys are going to places that are too heavily populated. There's too many people, there's too much music, and there's too much distraction. You guys need to be alone.
Okay.
Yeah,
you need to tell this guy, look, instead of going to the rave with the flashing lights and the pounding music and all the nut jobs and Dr. Bruce performing CPR and a bunch of kids that have passed out, you go
I've
out
had
to
anal
a nice...
sex and I passed out a couple of
Bruce, please. Why don't you guys just go to a nice... go by the ocean somewhere. Where are you? You calling from Los Angeles?
Sacramento.
Oh, Sacramento? They got an ocean over there, too?
No. They got a cement river.
Find a nice cement river. Go out to a nice restaurant and order a bottle of wine and get this guy lubed up a little and then plant one on him.
Okay.
No problems.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jessica. Take care now.
Bye.
Here is Carrie, who is 25. Carrie?
Yes, hi. My question is, I was just curious. I took the morning after pill recently.
Hey, before you go on, did you get it by just going to the pharmacy and getting it? Or you're in California, yeah.
I went
What's
to
that?
Planned Parenthood.
You went to Planned Parenthood, yeah, because you can get it just from the pharmacies now. It's not yet quite, all the pharmacies aren't engaged in that plan yet, but they will be. You just go to the pharmacy, no prescription, get that damn pill.
Oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that, but when I went in, I had just finished my period, previously, 2 days before that, and then I took the pill. It was called Plan B, and now that I'm having a period again, and I'm just curious if I should be worried about that.
No, it's not. You're not having a period. You have just some unstable endometrium from the pill. It's nothing. It's very common.
Okay.
It can screw up your cycling a little bit for a while, but you probably hadn't really fully finished your period yet. You took this dose of hormone, more bleeding, and it will stop in a couple days.
Okay.
All right.
Good times, baby.
You too.
Way to go. Get another
pill.
Get another prescription for it and put it in your medicine cabinet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just in case.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
I thought she didn't need a prescription for it.
Oh, you're right. Did I say get a prescription? I did.
That's
Go to the
what you
pharmacy
said.
and pick one up.
All right.
Kelly, 31.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you, first of all. About 4 years ago, I called in and had a concern with herpes that I had been diagnosed, and I was with this guy. We were talking marriage, and, 4 years later, we're married, but now I'm pregnant, and I'm doing about a month, and I wanted to know what the side effects might be for the baby as far as physically having them and then also breastfeeding.
0 for breastfeeding unless you have the herpetic eruption on your breast or on your nipples.
No.
And in terms of delivering the child, you have vaginal herpes, right?
Yes.
They will do a lot of testing and observation to see if you're having an active outbreak at the time of delivery. But they are going ahead and delivering children with no problem right now if there's no active disease.
Okay, and there's no cure for that? I mean, I've only had a couple of breakouts.
Yeah, you'll get less as time goes. You'll have less as time goes along.
Okay. And also one other comment. Earlier this evening, you had a gentleman call in and say his friend had kidney stones or something. I just wanted to say, through my whole life, I've had kidney stones, recurring stones. Since I've been pregnant, I've passed about 7 of them, a lot more. They did put me on hydrochlorothiazide. It does work. They just have to have like your potassium tested and everything to make sure that your body's not being drained of any important nutrients. And they just recommend drinking a lot of water.
That's about all you can do. Drink a lot of. That's about all you can do. Drink a bunch of fluid.
And then they just have. I've had the procedure lithotripsy, and where they physically go in and do stone manipulation.
Well, that's not lithotripsy. That's stone retrieval.
Both.
Lithotripsy is where they crush it with the sound waves.
Right. I've had both done.
So okay.
Ooh,
so
good
I have
times.
an identical twin. We both have it.
Nice.
Have recurring
Good genes.
stones.
Watch your oxalate intake. Are they calcium oxalate stones? Or are they something?
Calcium oxalate. When we get them analyzed and strained to have them analyzed, they've never come up mineral or anything like that. They're just
All right,
calcium
so what, no chocolate, no caffeine?
No struvite.
No, when we were younger, they thought that it was just because we had too much calcium in our diet. But, I mean, that was never proven whether we drank milk or not. When we were put on the hydrochlorothiazide, we formed less stones. And then, like I said, every few months they would just test for potassium levels and other levels to make sure that our body wasn't being depleted.
Yeah, but that's just a water pill. That's why they're testing it, to make sure the thiazide is not affecting you badly.
All right, Drew, I'm going to pass a stone here in a minute myself.
This is.
Hey, hold on.
Do you want to hear when Kelly goes on like that? I hear the sky's blue, the sky's blue, the sky's blue, the sky's blue.
Anderson, start tossing these
Do I just put
jokers
them on hold when I
would
want?
you please?
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll tell you to take
put
them
them on hold after like the first 2 seconds.
Perfect.
Yeah, after they say hi, just put them on hold. Then I'll go ahead and guess what their question was.
Holly, 15.
Hello?
Holly?
What's up?
Oh, he did. He put
She's
it on hold.
Good work, Anderson.
I have a question about orgasms. Like, my boyfriend can, not make me orgasm for anything. Hello?
At 15, that would be common. In fact, the fact that you're on the quest for it at 15 is a little disturbing. She's on hold, Adam.
Oh, okay.
There she is back.
Huh?
No, yes, Anderson, use your own poor judgment as to when to put them on hold, but let us talk to him for a second. Is her name Holly, by the way?
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Okay, and 15 years old.
No, I'm 17. I told him 17.
Oh, well, are you 17?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I thought Drew said 15.
No.
So, he gives you oral sex?
Yeah, and I don't know, it's like, the only time that I've, really ever orgasmed was with a vibrator.
All right.
You're ahead of the
pretty
curve.
common.
What, 15? She's way ahead.
Drew, 17.
17,
I beg your pardon. I'm looking at 15 on the screen here.
Yeah, stop looking at it. You're screwing me up.
Still at 17, she's ahead of the curve. Most 17-year-olds have not orgasmed at all, let alone dreamed of having one with a mate.
Yeah, so you're okay, Holly. And I don't know if you should blame your boyfriend or not. I don't know what his technique is. But perhaps you could involve the vibrator. Maybe that would help.
Yeah, but then the thing is, though, it's like I fake it. So he already thinks that I already am. So
you fake it.
Yeah, so then I...
Well, you know what's funny?
Anyway, tell me like it better.
Everyone we talk to who fakes it is angry at their boyfriend, and I always feel so bad for their boyfriend because they don't know you're faking it.
I'm not angry with him. It's just it's like when we're messing around or something, he'll get irritated. It's like I don't think that he understands that just because I don't have an orgasm, it doesn't mean that it doesn't feel good. I mean, it feels good. That's
that strange thing about women, Adam.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
It's like, no orgasm, not tonight, it's fine.
Yeah,
that was good, it was good.
One.
No,
I'm like, you kidding me? I can't believe that. Sex with no orgasm is it's like chewing without swallowing. Could you imagine going out to a nice dinner and just chewing it up and spitting it all in a bucket?
It's even worse than that.
Point. Yeah, it would be worse. Because I could get some satisfaction out of chewing up a nice steak and then just spitting it out.
Right. Oh, my goodness.
All right, we didn't help her at all, but she didn't really need any, did she?
She didn't need any, that's correct. This is Sean, who is 17.
Hey, I'm a drug addict, and a couple of days ago, my friends gave me a drug. I'm not 100% sure on. It's Adachrome or something. And I did LSD the same day, and I haven't stopped twitching, and I don't know what to do.
What do you mean twitching?
I have flashbacks that aren't normal. like, I'll like twitch, and then I'll see like something moving, and it goes away, and I don't know.
Well, that's what happens with hallucinogens. Typically, you get persistent visual disturbances, you get panic attacks, depression, you feel kind of locked in. That's what happens with those drugs. Okay. So you're having what's usually the side effect from it. If you want some help with that, you could talk to a psychiatrist who has experience with drug abuse, and there are things that can help settle these symptoms down. But
what was the medication? What was he taking?
I don't know what it is, but he doesn't know.
He gave a name. He gave a name.
He made it up, basically. What's the name?
Adachrome. It's I guess it's a drug or something. I don't know. They told me something like it's rare and
it's just he's just doing a bunch of hallucinogens at this point, and all hallucinogenics share the ability of damaging the brain, and he's in there. He's done a job.
Well, Sean, it's time to get some help, buddy.
David is 17. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. I'm a homosexual, but recently I met a girl like 2 months ago, and I've been kind of having feelings for her, like sexually.
Yeah. How do you know you're gay?
Well, I just know. I mean, I've been attracted to men.
Have you had sex with men?
Not like, like the whole thought of like, I guess, I don't know, like taking it in or whatever it's called is kind of like scary.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Have you had sex with men?
Well, oral.
Okay, that's sex. You're gay. That's what most homosexual males engage in.
Then it has turned into that.
Well, that's what it's always been that, Adam. It's always been that. Yes.
Why do we make all the boff in the ass jokes then, if that's the way it's always
because heterosexuals look at that as that they have trouble dealing with that. As them, it's sort of funny and weird, and they don't know how to handle it.
The cornhole part or the oral sex part?
The cornhole part. The oral sex part, most people are sort of, oh, okay, whatever.
This is a revelation to me. It's only the last few years that I've learned that most gay sex is oral sex.
Yeah.
But, if I was gay, that's the route I would go, Drew.
Well, oral? You just go for that. Yeah, it could be why you're into it so much. You know what I'm saying?
The gay sex? Oh, the oral. I see. Right, right, buddy, right. So, David, maybe you're bi. How about that?
Well, that's kind of what I'm wondering, because I'm like, I mean, I don't know, because...
Well, let's figure this out. Why do you... Did anything turn you gay?
Not specifically, not that I know of.
Did you have any trauma around your sexuality that might have made you confused about your sexuality, is what Adam's asking.
No, not really, no.
Okay, so you're just gay, born gay.
I think so.
That's a song, Drew. Do you know that song? Born gay, the life is to live gay. Remember that song, Drew?
Yeah.
All right, so, David, well, what about exploring a relationship with this person?
Well, I'm just kind of afraid that, because she thinks I'm gay. I mean, kind of has the, I guess, the whole trusting relationship.
How gay are you?
If she likes, if she's gay.
Yeah,
sure. You guys should deliver on that.
Catch her with her guard down. Yeah, why don't you ask her out on a date? Tell her you're bi.
I just don't know what's up with you, though, David. There's usually when people get confused about their sexual identity, it's because of something, some trauma.
Well, she's like, I don't know, because it's like, I mean, I've only known her for like a short period of time, but she seems like a really, really cool person, and I guess, and I mean, it's obvious that she's beautiful. So,
all right.
But David, again, I will repeat myself. It's rare at your age to have such confusion about your sexual identity without some trauma in childhood.
Well, Drew, let me float a theory here. You know how women are more apt or more open,
more fluid?
They're more fluid that way. They can go with their own sex because they appreciate the form and they see women as beautiful objects. And if you take your average woman and say, are you a lesbian? They'll say no. But you'll say, One of these girls, pick out some celebrity from TV. You think she's beautiful? Yeah. Would you ever think about, making out with her? Sure. Most women would do that. I mean, they're able to do that, right?
Yes, but they don't struggle with their sexual identity. They don't go, oh, am I gay?
No, you're missing my theory here.
All right.
My other theory about how gay dudes are sort of like chicks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. So
maybe they're more fluid. Maybe they're able to say, you know what, I'm gay, but this is a beautiful woman who has a beautiful personality, and I'm attracted to her now. Whereas heterosexual men are much more concrete. And women just have the ability, they just have more range than we do sexually. Maybe gay men who are women, essentially, have more range, too.
I like your theory. I like
it's a good one.
However, wouldn't you think we'd hear about this more if this kind of thing were happening?
Look, an hour ago, the world did not know about the urine wheel. The hydroelectric urine wheel. There's so many things.
And the Duke drop.
We'll be right back. And the Duke drop. What I'm saying is, Drew, is I come up with these theories. Of course the world has not heard them before.
Genius theories.
They're not in any of your crappy textbooks written by those pinheads. Those people are thinking the thoughts that the man tells them to think. But this is Ace, baby. Ace is free. Ace is a butterfly, man. And he's introducing thoughts that people have never thought before. You understand, man?
Oh, dude, I do.
All right, so you give that thought about my fluidity and about my hydroelectric urine wheel.
Just what is it that you want to do?
We want to be free.
There you go.
We want to be free to do what we want to do. And we want to get loaded. And we want to have a good time.
And that's what we're going to do.
Come on, Daddy-O.
We're going to have a party.
That's you in Vegas, man.
Yeah, that was me in Vegas until this show interrupted my party. But don't worry, kiddies. In a short 38 minutes, I'll be right back on top of the world. All right, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back after this. Yeah, there's my song, Drew.
I'm envisioning you now walking into that Hard Rock. There it is.
Well, won't be the Hard Rock I'm walking into after the show. It's going to be a little place called Club Paradise.
Oh
yeah.
How do you pick your strip club? Oh, yeah, that'll be Adam. How do you pick your strip clubs?
Well, I use a divining rod.
Mm-hmm. Your
penis? Yes, my forked penis. No, as I'd mentioned, we were doing the Howard Stern show a little bit earlier from the Hard Rock, and the folks over there decided that was the place to go, so everyone's going over there, and I'm just going to meet up with them.
I see.
A little networking, Drew. Nothing wrong with that.
Whatever you say, sir. Simon is 20.
Hello?
Hey, Simon.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, hey, man, I'm calling from Alaska, man. I wanted to talk to you guys about your comments on the security guards and the construction workers.
All right.
I'm not sure it was you guys. I believe it was Adam. Not to get behind my buddy.
Okay, well, Adam, anyway. Basically, all I got to say is, for you to bust somebody like that, security guards being lazy or construction not being, too good to begin with, we want to talk about lazy. You guys sit down and you're talking to a microphone. I mean, come on. At least construction. We're working for our living. We're doing something. Not to diss your field or nothing, but
Sure. No, go ahead and diss it. It's all right.
But honestly, man, just security guard. At least they're doing something. They're not just sitting there. For them to be lazy, All
right. Now put him on hold, and I will answer his rebut his editorial. Here's how I define laziness. It's not how many calories you're burning. It's how much of your job that you're doing at any given time. Security guards oftentimes don't do the job that they're supposed to do, which is secure. Do you know what I'm saying, Drew?
Yeah, I got you.
I have had many a security guard that was assigned to me while we go out and do some man-on-the-street thing, and I can't find these guys when I'm being mobbed with idiots that are screwing up the shots that we're trying to do. It's not about, look, I don't call CPAs lazy, and all they do is sit all day and work on a calculator. It's not about how many calories you're burning, you moron. It's about whether you're doing your job or not.
Stephen Hawking's lazy. He's stuck in that chair.
Right. Well, he does burn some calories talking into that simulated voice activator he has. But the other thing is I never called construction workers lazy. Those guys work their ass off. They're hard working. I mean, they go out drinking and whoring until 4 in the morning, and then they're at the job at 7.
Where's my bourbon?
Yes, they're mostly horrible people. That's something I've said, and that's only based on experience. Thank you. Who's next?
Not necessarily the opinion of the station or myself.
No,
Jason.
but Drew, you've not worked construction. I have.
That's why I don't take issue with what you say.
That's
You're speaking
right.
from your experience.
And how many of these troublemakers have we spoken to over the years?
Many. And you've never been wrong on that one.
No, thank you.
Things are good. Jason, 32.
Jason?
Hi, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
Adam, welcome back. I hope you're sufficiently detoxed and ready to do it again, man.
Well,
he's not detoxed.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
I guess if you're in Vegas.
I'm drunk and I'm in Vegas, so
Beautiful, baby.
Save that for Sunday. Boy, am I drunk. What's up?
I wanted to run something by Drew having to do with addiction. Basically, I have some addictive tendencies, and I don't come from a genetic history of addiction.
What's your ethnicity?
I'm Caucasian.
Where are your ancestors from?
Well, it's all European. They're hard to track down, but like Danish and German and stuff like that.
Okay, so sort of Central European.
Yeah, and I didn't grow up with a really funky, traumatic childhood. So what modes tend to make people addicts who don't come from those kind of standard environments?
Well, describe to me what you've got going. What's happening?
Well, I drink a lot, and I started drinking really young, and it's just kind of always been that way. I've always been a partier, and just taking on other things as well. It's just kind of my approach, to different things. I just kind of go after things really, really heavy.
So you tend to go for extremes.
Yeah.
And you go for thrill too. You like driving fast and jumping off bridges and stuff.
I'm not like the classic T type of personality. Speed, yeah, but I don't bungee jump or stuff. But I like speed and I'm kind of like Adam in terms of my racing and like to go see that stuff. And then I do ride a motorcycle and stuff like that. But not the classic T type of personality.
And both sets of grandparents?
Yeah.
And is there any reason they don't drink? Like, are they Mormon or religious clerk? They're Mormon?
Yes.
Mormon have a profound tendency for alcoholism.
Really?
It will skip.
Due to the rebellion thing, maybe?
No. The tenets of the church actually contain the gene very nicely, and so you'll see it skip 3 and 4 generations sometimes. But man, when it comes on fiercely. I treat Mormons all the time in my unit, and it's usually kids that leave the church environment. They leave Utah, they leave their community, and pow, it explodes. So there you go. So you do.
So what should he do?
He's an alcoholic. When he's ready to deal with it, he can. But he's claiming that it didn't happen. He's just got the gene, and the fact that he didn't have what he called a funky childhood, he had a good childhood, is why it's not exploding at this point. But the biology will eventually kick in, and that will be that.
You think Brigham Young was a boozer?
Well, actually, the group of Mormons that settled, the original group, there was a tremendous incidence of alcohol abuse in that group, and the women, apparently, if the history is, as I understand it, is accurate, the women got together and said, okay, we're going to let you guys establish this church, but the first thing you guys got to do is no more boozing. Stop. And that became one of the principles, and it helped them contain the disease, the gene.
Where's my bourbon?
That's when the Carollas pulled out. That's when we got into Santeria.
You guys you're cruising by in a wagon and said, oh, none of that.
Yeah, honey, don't stop. Keep going till we get to the Santeria clan. Hey, they're killing a chicken over there, and they're drinking up pretty good. Let's go over there.
And they're snapping.
Yeah.
Michael's 16.
Yeah, basically, my girlfriend, we just got together about a week ago, and her ex-boyfriend, she told me pretty much that he had raped her, and basically she still hangs out with him and stuff like that, and I guess I get really jealous and stuff like that because he's got a lot of money. I'm just 16, and he's 19, and basically I don't know why she's still hanging out with him. I don't understand that at all.
How old is she?
She's 16.
How old is he again? I didn't hear that.
16.
19.
How have you told her that you don't like this?
Oh, yeah, I got in an argument over the phone tonight with her. I told her I didn't trust her at all, pretty much, with him, and I just didn't understand why she was still hanging out with him at all.
Well, just the fact that she has a blatant disregard for your feelings as it pertains to maintaining this relationship, or at least the way she hangs out with him, is completely unacceptable as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Why'd she break up with the guy?
I don't know, like, basically she didn't really tell me anything about that, but I know for a fact she told me she's not going to tell him that we're together now. And I don't understand that. I think she still has feelings for him, but she says she doesn't.
Of course she does.
Yeah. Well, you know, she's got the chaos gene, too, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
She likes trouble.
Yeah.
She likes little drama in her relationships.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing, but I don't know. I really want her back because I think pretty much we broke up tonight, but I don't really know what to do to get her back. Should I get her back? I don't know.
Well, if she's as chaotic as I think she is, the only way to get her back is to pretend like you don't give a rat's ass and have her come back to you.
And take up heroin.
Yeah, how about heroin? Can you do that? Paint your nails black?
No,
start getting into the goth scene a little bit?
No, that's cool.
Well, listen, does she have a troubled background?
I've met her parents. They seem pretty cool. I know she has a stepdad. I've never met her real dad before. I'm probably guessing that's probably if it is.
I would agree.
All right, well, listen, you deserve better.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need this kind of chaos.
Not better looking, but just better.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I get the feeling from Michael. That's what this is about. This is he got those glasses on. It's just whatever. He'll tolerate it.
I don't know how I compete with the guy because he's like 19. And supposedly he's a drug dealer too. So
Good times, Michael. Way to go. What's it worth to you?
Well, I can give her. I just feel like I can give her so much more, and she doesn't.
Stop it. Oh my God.
She doesn't want any more. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And if you give it to her, she'll sabotage it.
And Michael, get rid of her. And put him on hold, too, please, and let me talk to him without him talking back. That's how I'd like the world to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really into her anyway. He
just likes how she looks. Yeah.
She's good looking, and she tolerated him for a couple of weeks, and now he's smitten. But, Drew, you've been there, right? You're 16.
Oh.
You're fighting hard for something you really got no business fighting for.
Right. That's right. He doesn't know that, though. Here's Gilbert, 19.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
I had a question for Drew. I've gone down a lot of girls, like, as far as eating them out, and my current girlfriend,
Gilbert doesn't sound like a guy that'll be going down very much, does he? You know what I'm saying, Adam?
No, I believe. Why? Does he sound black? Gilbert's Mexican. He's not black.
No, I'm mixed. Black and Mexican. My father's black and my mother's Mexican.
It's funny because Drew was thinking black and I was thinking Mexican.
Isn't that weird?
And we met right in the middle.
I think his African American gene would trump his tendency here, don't you think?
Well, Mexicans love going down on women, and the blacks hate it. So it's really an inner struggle that Gilbert has with his genes.
It's kind of a fetish for me. It's like something I prefer doing.
It's a new kind of male. I told you, genetic mixing is good.
No kidding. All right, so anyway, you like going down on women.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, my current girlfriend, when I go down her, I notice her, her juices have a tendency to taste almost like real sweet. Almost like, at first I thought she was rubbing like flavor jelly on herself. And it turns out that she wasn't. And, just like, tastes almost like she has strawberry juice coming out or something. I was wondering, is that normal?
That's love, Gilbert.
Yeah, it's either his perception blinded by love, or he should be giving blessing to God Almighty.
Oh.
Yeah, listen, that's fine. And, that's part of the deal, too, when you're really into that sort of thing. It tastes good. I mean, the Jews
I like how you dismiss
good.
I like how you dismiss the possibility that she actually has a sweet taste. That's not possible.
It's weird, 'cause that's the first girl I've ever had that actually, I've come across girls that just, like, naturally, even though I like going down, I just refuse to go down because, I get right there and if, something will smell her, I'm like, whoo-hoo, bye-bye.
Right.
I'm not going on it.
They must love that.
Women love that when you go, woohoo, bye-bye. Drew, you ever do that? Woohoo!
Oh, haven't done everybody?
Bye-bye.
I usually go, whoo-wee!
Lordy, Lordy, Lord.
I'd be like, no, it's just not edible.
Yeah, all right. Well, Gilbert, you're fine. She's got that. It's a blessing. It's kismet. It's no, what do they call it's not it's a mitzvah, right, Drew?
It's a mitzvah, yes.
That's what the Jews would call it, right? A mitzvah? That means, that just means, that's kismet, right? I mean, that's serendipity.
It's a gift, yes.
It's Jew for serendipity.
A blessing.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Anderson, yeah. Start putting people on hold, would you please?
Thank you. Well, actually, we have to go to break here.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right, put Angel back on hold on 3, please.
All right, we'll take a little break, and when we come back, we'll speak to someone called Angel, so you know there's going to be trouble after this. Got a little more show to go, and why don't we see if we can make it through some calls, Drew?
That'd be fine with me. This is Angel. She is 22.
Oh, yes.
Adam, I just want to tell you my roommates and I love you, and Drew, we love you too. We listen to your show faithfully every night.
Are you up in Salt Lake?
I am.
So you're preparing for the Olympics tomorrow?
We're hating it.
Are you going to any of that stuff?
No, I'm not. We're staying as far away as possible.
Yeah.
Why are you hating it?
Just because they've closed down most of our freeways and everything, so it's really hard to get anywhere we want to go, and you can't go anywhere downtown without going through a million checkpoints. And
it's so funny. The brief news report I heard on it today is sort of spinning it as though they've got traffic under control. Look how wide and open the streets are. It's because everybody's at home.
Yeah, they make it sound like that, but it's really not.
How many days do the Olympics go on over there?
It's 2 weeks, isn't it?
They're 2 weeks long, but we've had people in town for about a week and a half already, and they're estimated to have people through town till the end of February.
I was up at Deer Valley. My kids were 4, and you guys were preparing for this.
Yeah.
It was 5 years ago.
They've been doing freeway construction for about 5 years and closing down different sections of it all over, and we only have, one main freeway, and they keep closing it off, and you find out it's closed off, the morning you're trying to get somewhere.
Are you going to go to any of the events?
No.
She said no?
She's not. She's pissed.
All right.
All right, Angel. What's your question, baby?
I have, this infatuation with giving blowjobs. I've been told I love giving them too much. And, I don't know whether to be embarrassed by it or to be, proud of it. I don't know.
Well, who told you did it too much?
Just people I talk to. My ex and I still live together. And when we were together, it was my big thing to give him one whenever I could. And, it's a before, during, and after sex thing.
Oh, my God.
And it's just, my big infatuation. I'd rather do that than have sex. And, he was telling his friends about it, and they think, I'm way too addicted to it.
Well, they're fiercely jealous, too, of course.
I didn't know if it was just because of that or because, there's something wrong with me.
Well, let me ask you this, Angel. What if there was a guy who only wanted to get BJs? Could you guys just hang together and your sex life be you just giving him BJs?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Adam will be up there in a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Vegas. I'm halfway to Utah as it is. What do you think a cab ride to Utah would be, Drew?
I don't know, but I know you're going to hail one, and just get on your way.
$2,700 or so?
Yeah.
You know, if I stopped at an ATM about every 400 miles, I think I could make it. All right. Well, it's a little... Anything we should know about?
Well, I don't know. When I was 18, I was raped by my boyfriend at the time. He was... I woke up after we went to a party, and, I woke up to him raping me, and I don't know if that's the reason why, or...
No. I don't think that's it.
Are you an aggressive... Just out of curiosity, are you a real aggressive person?
I am. If I see what I want, I go for it.
Are you angry, too? Easily angered?
I'm not easily angered.
But you're aggressive?
Uh-huh.
I mean, people would associate oral impulses with aggression. It just is you, so it's all right.
Yeah,
nothing.
You find a man. I mean, I'm wondering, is Angel still there, by the way?
She's there, but Brittany's on the line right now.
Oh, okay, all right.
What do you want to ask her? Get her address?
Well, She just, I'd like to mail her my penis, actually. I don't need to come out there, do I? Couldn't she just work on it? Just FedEx it over there. She could have at it for a couple of weeks and send it back, and make sure you put it in that peanut packing stuff. I don't want it to get damaged or lost, better yet. But it just seems like she needs to find a guy who's kind of her speed and who's into that, and call it a life.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's going to change much.
No. Nor should she necessarily.
All right. Who's this? Brittany.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi, Brittany.
Hello.
Hi. Well, I don't have any questions or issues or anything, but, Adam, I have a crush on you.
Yeah, well, I'll mail you my penis as soon as Angel's done with it.
Is that the best I get?
What city are you in?
I'm in San Jose.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm out in Vegas right now, and it's going to take me, it's been about 12 hours to get to Utah.
Right.
Then,
it's like 8 hours Utah, I think, isn't it?
8 hours Utah from Vegas, and then I could just have the cab wait for me, and I could probably
shoot across.
Where'd you say you are again?
I'm in San Jose.
San Jose? I'll probably make it from Utah there, about 18, 20 hours? Or?
Yeah, good 20 hours, yeah.
Okay.
So we can hang out.
Yeah, let's see. What time is it? It's almost midnight. Well, I should be there by about 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Wait a minute, you're gonna spend a little time in the strip club before you leave, aren't you?
Ooh, yeah. Sorry, Brittany. It's gonna be looking more like 1 a.m. Probably in about 3 hours in the strip club. We'll work it out. What is it that you like about me most?
I don't know. I've been listening to the show for a while. I think, first of all, I like your sense of humor. I don't know. I think you're a cool person, and I think this is really crazy that I'm even calling, but I think you're cool, and I'd love to get to know you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, when are you out in L.A. next?
Probably a lot.
Come by and pay us a visit when you're in town.
Okay.
All right. Well, you must be hot, right? She's got to be hot, Drew, or she wouldn't be talking.
You're fat.
Drew, please, how dare you, Drew? What's that, sweetie?
I'm blonde hair, blue eyes. I work for a modeling agency. I think I'm cute.
Yeah, but
you're fat.
Listen,
no,
what do you do for the modeling agency? Fix the copier?
No, I find screen and market models. So I determine whether or not I think they're fat or not.
Okay. Well, if not you, certainly have a good in with some of your model friends, right?
See, I can hook you up with some cute girls.
Fantastic.
Oh, my God.
All right, we'll see you soon. Listen, I have a girlfriend. We're very much in love. I'm going to a strip club in about 6.5 minutes, so I don't want to be distracted, is what I'm saying, True. Curtis.
20.
Curtis?
Yeah.
What's up there, Curtis?
Not much. Is Adam?
Yeah.
I'm through. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I just had a comment on that guy that called in about his woman tasting like strawberries.
Yeah.
Okay, I found, with my girlfriend, her taste would change when she would, eat, certain types of fruits or drink certain types of juices.
No.
Yeah, and I don't know, I had a question kind of too, blondes. I prefer blondes. If I went down to redheads, brunettes, I don't like the way they taste. I just like the way blondes taste. I'm serious. I don't know what's up with that.
Now, what if a redhead dyed her hair blonde? Would you be able to tell?
No, it's not the same. I can tell the difference whether they shaved and they dyed their hair blonde up top. It don't matter. I can tell the difference.
You really could.
Yeah.
So if I blindfolded you, and I took a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead, and I got them naked, and I had you sample each one of them, you could tell me which one the blonde was?
No, I'd be afraid to kind of go down on a brunette. If I knew she was a brunette, I'm not afraid to go down on her. It's my experience. That's kind of my fetish, too, but...
And what about, Cindy Crawford? She's a brunette. Would that be okay to go down on her?
I'd go down on brunettes, but yeah, I'd go down on Cindy Crawford.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
All right, Kurt. Well, I'm going to let her know about that. I'm sure she'd be excited to know, because she probably runs into this. There's not guys who are willing to go down on her.
Oh, she's a brunette. Yeah.
Doesn't know there's generous guys like Curtis out there who are willing to look the other way.
Wow.
God bless him.
Wow.
Well, Drew, what do you think?
Do I have to take another one?
You do
Getting this even weirder and weirder.
No. One quick call. Drew.
All right, this is Karen. Karen is 26.
Hello?
Karen.
What's up there, Karen? Real fast.
Okay, sorry. Okay, my husband and I try to be a good wife. I try to do whatever he would want to do in bed sexually, but he turns me down a lot for sex, and then as soon as I leave to go somewhere, we'll masturbate.
How often is he turning you down?
Gosh, I would like to have sex like every day at least.
And what does he want?
Well, not that much, and then also
What does he want?
Maybe like once or twice a week, and then
You're fat.
Drew, please.
Not bad.
Hey, but Karen, okay, here's what's going on. We don't have much time, but
okay.
You may be pressuring him a little, and he's retreating, and when guys retreat, they beat. That's what I do. They close themselves off, and they go in their little masturbatory cocoon. Their little chamber, and they have at it. Why don't you just leave him alone? And I don't mean give him the cold shoulder and be mean to him. I just mean just kind of leave him alone. See what he does. Let him come to you. Don't put the screws to him. Give him a little time. Give him a month. Don't come at him too much. And if he still stays at it, then call us back and we'll come up with plan B, all right?
There you go.
All right. We'll take another break, and we'll be right back after this.
Well, Carolla has climbed into the cab and is headed on off to Salt Lake City, or actually San Jose via Salt Lake. He reconciled his dilemma by sending his penis ahead by courier, so that will arrive soon enough. So be that as it may, mercifully this show is over. So this is Dr. Drew on behalf of Adam Carolla saying mahalo.
Woo-wee!
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for Loveline is Ann Wilkins Ingold. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.